Night in the Woods. It's a dialogue-based slice-of-life game about talking animals. Furries rejoice. I'm not going to talk much about the gameplay because, well... Oh, Game of the Year. Gripping gameplay. Oh, kill me. The gameplay isn't the focus. It effectively gets from A to B, with some minigames in between, with slick animations, but the gameplay isn't deep or complex, and it doesn't get more deep or complex than the first time you learn the controls. The jumping mechanic, for example, the triple jump, it's not used a whole lot. It feels like it's just there as a supplementary thing. Platforming doesn't get more complex. It kind of stays the same. It's serviceable. Except the dream sequences. Those are hot garbage. They're not challenging, they're not engaging, they're frustrating. Oh no. End my life. The story is the focus. It's about May Borowski coming home from college early and settling back into country life. The dialogue is realistic. There are many exchanges where I felt like these were two people actually talking to each other, rather than two furry animals written by a man in a dark room at about 5 in the morning. There's strong characterization. Greg, he's a bit of a troublemaker, a bit of a risk taker. Bea, she's a bit of an edgelord. Angus, a bit more straight cut. All of the characters feel like they have an established past and history, and they feel like characters. There's an excellent balance between drama and comedy, which is hard to achieve unless you're, Marvel Entertainment. Sometimes comedy and drama can conflict tonally and make for just a bit of a mess, but that never felt like that was the case for Night in the Woods. Night in the Woods hits that through line perfectly. If we're to look at a specific scene where I think this worked really well, there was May going to the toilet of the diner, and Greg comes in to see what she's doing. May's having a mental breakdown, she's tearing shit up, she's pulling the place apart, which is a dramatic moment, she's losing it a bit. And Greg comes in and just points out how absurd and stupid it is. A very nice mix of drama and comedy in there. And there are strong character moments throughout the game. Angus's confession about his past, why he's not religious, is very strong. It's well written, it's well executed, it hits the mark perfectly. And this is one of many dramatic moments shared between characters. The only problem I had really is the disconnect between the player and the player's avatar, May. May is her own character with her own goals and desires, but frequently I, as a player, had interests that conflicted with hers. May doesn't want to talk about why she left college. Well, I want to hear why she left college. This creates a bit of a disconnect between me and my character, and it feels like it's doing a disservice to its medium, gaming. If this was a book, absolutely, no problem. But this is an interactive game where the player is put in May's shoes, and the player isn't allowed to influence the outcome of the game by getting May to talk about her story. It feels like sometimes I'm taking a bit of a back seat to May, rather than controlling her. And the game will sometimes not take into account previous player choices. Angus confessed to me that he was not religious. And then in the diner the next day, May's like, "Oh, are you religious, Angus?" May, we talked about this. But that was not referenced at all, so it felt like there was a bit of a flub there. But overall, those are fairly small things. The player disconnect might not have been a problem for other people, it was for me. So that's it. Heartily recommend it. Buy it. Oh. Wait. What is that? Oh my god, no. Oh no. It's a terrible third act! Oh god, shield your eyes! No! This game's third act is written by yours truly, M. Night Shyamalan, director of Signs, Lady in the Water, and his classic Oscar winner, The Happening.
What? No!
There's a cult sacrificing people to Satan. This cultist concept presents very interesting ideas about conservatism and the desire to return to the past, the slippery slope idea that our society is slowly falling apart, faith and pattern finding, the ends justify the means, lots of different concepts, but the twist is done so poorly that it borders on farce. Think about the logistics of this cult of dads. First of all, there is a question of how they've managed to keep things a secret when they're so bad at being discreet. They're hosting a large gathering 15 steps out of town. This person here is abducted in front of May, in town, on Halloween night! What the fuck are you doing? Anyway, then there's the random appearance of cultists throughout the latter half of the game, which raises so many questions which can't be answered, since the cultists aren't actually ghosts, but are they? Why is it here? What? And if the cultists saw May here, why do they only find out about May at this point? Why are the cultists chasing them around? Then there's the problem of the inconsistent paranormal elements. The cultists say, "We get given special powers by Satan, like the ability to fly and go through walls. But I don't know how it works." And this is essentially shorthand for, well, it works however the author wants it to work. Don't ask me. The elevator was empty, and now this cultist teleports through however many miles of rock to attack May. Can cultists teleport then? Well, why did this cultist attack May? Why did he do it in the elevator, of all places? Doesn't he read the health and safety manuals? The cultists clearly want new members, or they wouldn't have brought them down here. They're congenial, and they don't want to fight. And no, I am not endorsing cultists, but what I'm saying is that they threw out a nice picnic spread for us, and the least we could do is be nice. But no. So then, really, the only cultist that would attack May is this guy who got shot with a crossbow, who was pissed off about being shot with a crossbow, obviously. So this cultist who got shot with a crossbow can teleport? Why didn't he use this ability earlier? How do these systems work? Why does one cave-in kill the entire cult? Surely one of them would have been able to like teleport out of the mountain and then get help or something. So many questions. The rules are inconsistent. The world is inconsistent. Everything is so inconsistent, riddled with holes. And each of these points could be explained, but it would take 50 minutes to do so, and would require a lot of conjecture and faulty evidence. This plotline is convoluted and poorly thought out, has more holes than Swiss cheese, and does not work logistically. The concept is fine, but the execution is dodgy. It feels rushed. There are some big concepts introduced in the last act which are instantly resolved. A cult has been abducting kids and feeding them to Satan. And the plotline is wrapped up in 2 minutes. All the cultists die in 2 minutes. Gee, they sure were threatening. May is suffering from depression.
Nope.
The mental illness was just Satan being Satan, and now that he's gone, she's feeling a lot better. Here, have a Kit Kat. You're not yourself without a Kit Kat. Here, get rid of Satan. You're not yourself when Satan's here. These were huge concepts that were just swept under the rug. But despite the rushed climax, it is a good story and a fantastic game, and well worth your time. I would recommend it.